Hey, wanna see something scary? Close your eyes. All the way now. Boo! Pretty spooky, huh? But don't worry, it's just a piece of paper. Silly. But let's say it was a real tarantula. I'd know just the trick to get rid of it. I present to you a Tarantula Hawk.
Really? A wasp? How is that any less terrifying than a tarantula?
Well, someone's gotta get rid of all these spiders, and it certainly isn't gonna be me. Hey, where'd my wasp go?
I'm a spider, and I'll have you know that most of the spiders are completely harmless to humans.
Anyway, where was I? Oh, that's right. Now, where did I put that thing? Yeah, here it is. Tarantula Hawks. Tarantula Hawks, a type of wasp that belongs to the Pompilidae family, a family that specializes in hunting down spiders. Despite their knack for targeting a creature equally as intimidating, and often more than twice its size, your average tarantula hawk is only about 2 inches long and rarely stings humans. Only the female wasp can sting, and chances are that if one does decide to sting you, it's because you were stupid enough to pick one up, or get too close to one of their burrows, as wasps can be quite territorial. And yes, contrary to most wasps, spider wasps live in burrows, underground homes that often have intricate tunnels, and rooms in which to store their stuff. Although, for a tarantula hawk, if it's large enough to store a tarantula, it's probably large enough. Anyway, if you do encounter one, perhaps the only way you could tell them apart is by their antennas. The females tend to have more curved or spiral antennas, while the males have straighter antennas. If you are unlucky enough to get stung by one, then I hope you've made peace with yourself. Because based on the Schmidt Sting Pain Index, a scale to measure levels of pain an insect can inflict onto its victim, a tarantula hawk sting is considered the second most painful sting in the insect world. They are categorized to be in pain level 4, the highest level for an insect to be in, sharing its place with the bullet ant, which is in first place, and the warrior wasp, which is in third place. And I don't know about you, but if I knew a creature whose sting was rivaled by creatures with bullet or warrior in their names, then I'd probably want to stay clear of it. What? Don't believe me? Well, a naturalist by the name of Howard Evans, who studied solitary wasps, decided to capture a sizable gathering of female wasps on a flower using a net. He naively stuck his hand within the net to collect his findings, only to be met by pain so excruciating that after he managed to release his hand from the net, setting the wasps free, he made his way into a ditch and cried in agony from the sheer pain of getting stung by so many of them in one sitting. The only upside to any of this is that the pain only lasts for approximately 5 minutes. Had it been any longer, there's no doubt the tarantula hawk would rival the bullet ant for its place. Unfortunately, your chances of encountering one are quite high because spider wasps live all over the world, except for Antarctica, like most insects. And between you and me, that place is a barren wasteland. If any creature can manage to survive between the orcas, leopard seals, and krills, then truly that creature's a god among organisms. On the upside, unlike most wasps, tarantula hawks are very solitary and are often alone, isolated. So you don't have to worry about a whole colony of wasps out for blood. Conveniently for them, tarantula hawks aren't exactly known for having predators. Some of the only animals that are willing to approach them are roadrunners and bullfrogs, and even those animals are none too common to a tarantula hawk. As a result, they often live long lives, with an average lifespan of 5 months for females and a month for males. Despite the name, tarantula hawks don't eat tarantulas as adults. When they're adults, they predominantly consume pollen from flowers, like other wasps. This includes flowers like milkweed, soapweed, and mesquite, to name a few. Just like bees, as they visit these flowers, they pollinate them, contributing to their overall growth. However, Unlike bees, they aren't as efficient due to not being as fuzzy as a bee. The fuzz being a feather-like addition to a bee's body known as plumose. Not being fuzzy means not a lot of pollen will stick to you, meaning you're less likely to carry pollen over from flower to flower. Nevertheless, they play a crucial role in pollinating flowers and promoting growth of various plants around the world. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Bielsa, how are we supposed to get rid of all these spiders?
If all they eat is nectar, you absolute idiot!
Anyway, I bet you're thinking, why is it called Tarantula Hawk if it doesn't even eat tarantulas? Are you trying to bamboozle me? The truth is, tarantula hawks and all spider wasps only ever eat spiders as larvae. A bit anticlimactic, but for the sake of all spiders, this is mildly good news. The less dissemination for them, the better. Now, when it comes to wasps, a good chunk of them are social wasps. This means they live in colonies and share a nest with a sizable population of other wasps. They work together and support one another. Every wasp in said colony has its purpose, and for the male wasps, their purpose is to mate and, well, die. Social wasps tend to die for several reasons after mating. Like most insects, they live in a hierarchical-like structure. The males don't really do much. They can't sting like females can, and as a result cannot guard the nest very well. And they're often kicked out of the nest if they do manage to survive the mating session. Due to the fact that male wasps are not equipped to fend for themselves in the wild, they are often born with underdeveloped organs, unlike their female counterparts, and will use up a considerable amount of energy just to reproduce. They often die just a few hours after being kicked from the colony. Yeah, inequality in the insect kingdom is quite rampant. Maybe we'll see an uprising of sorts, who knows. Anyway, solitary wasps, on the other hand, are the complete opposite. Both males and females can collect nectar. Not only that, but solitary wasps have multiple partners throughout their lifetime. There's also the fact that male solitary wasps don't immediately die after the mating process. This means they'll be able to mate multiple times without issue. Unfortunately, like their social counterparts, they live shorter lives than female wasps, but at least it'll most likely be due to natural causes. After the female wasp has mated and is ready to lay eggs, they will seek out a tarantula, or at least a reasonably large spider. Like tarantula hawks, tarantulas also live in burrows, which likely means the wasp will go through one or more burrows to find its prey. After finding her victim, using her long legs, she'll grapple the poor tarantula, waiting for her chance to deliver a dose of paralyzing venom, and drag the tarantula into her own pre-dug burrow. Just when the helpless tarantula thinks it's all over, it soon realizes that perhaps death was a better fate for it than what's to come. The tarantula is merely paralyzed, meaning it's still conscious. Now that the wasp has a perfect host, she will inject the tarantula with her eggs, so that when they hatch, the tarantula will be the first meal her larvae will devour, and devour the poor spider alive they will. The female tarantula hawk lays an average of 13.4 eggs that will hatch in about 3 to 4 days after introducing its eggs to the tarantula. In about 3 weeks, it will go from pupa to a full adult, repeating the process their parents went through and starting the cycle all over again. And thus ends the story of the tarantula hawk.
How many?
What?
How many tarantula hawks would we need to get rid of all these spiders?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, let's see. If we have this many spiders, multiply that by this, carry to 1, we'd need at least 20 tarantula hawks, and that's not even counting any possible eggs these spiders could have laid.
Ooh, I might have overshot it a bit.
What?
Well, thanks for watching.